Greetings and bienvenue, midnight crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast, and welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
In college, my cousin also goes to the same college. Starts dating a girl who said her house is possessed by a demon. Didn't believe her, of course. Wanted to go see for ourselves. About an hour away, 4 people, 2 guys, myself and cuz, 2 girls. Arrive at the house. It was empty as her parents were out of town for the weekend. As soon as we walk into the house and turn the lights on, head to the kitchen. Her house had been empty for at least a night by now. Every cabinet and refrigerator door in the kitchen was open, and there was a giant kitchen knife stuck at least an inch into the wall. At first we thought it was a prank to scare us. She closes all the cabinets. I remember her using her hands and feet to close them, like she had done it 1,000 times before. Asks if we want beer. We do. She goes into the garage to get them from the garage refrigerator. Ask why they keep food, drinks in the garage. She says that the fridge never stays closed, along with cabinets, so they had to start putting things in the other fridge. Also notice a broken plate on the ground. Start to pick it up for her, but she says,
"No, leave that there. If you pick it up, it will just break another one."
Wow. Very heavy noping all around. It's obvious these people have to deal with this regularly, and she wasn't just fucking with us. She pulls the knife out of the wall and sets it on the countertop, mentions some scratches in her room, asks if we want to see. We do, of course, so we go upstairs and to her room. She shows us scratches that could have been something crazy, but could also have been a dog or cat. We talk about this for a few, then head back downstairs. Every cabinet door and fridge is wide open again. Knife is restuck in the wall. We are the only ones there, and that's verified by all involved. Major fucking nopes. Then she drops the bombshell on us. She says they can't ever go in the basement past midnight. You won't make it past the 6th step, she says. Of course my cousin and I accept this challenge. We have a little liquid courage by now from the beers, so we check the time. It's 11:59 exactly when we look. Again, minor noping. We open the basement door. The girl is petrified. She is hiding behind the other girl who is hiding behind us. As we open it, a gust of wind comes rushing up at us, like blowing our hair back. It was so strong. Very freaky. But the air smelled fresh, so we assumed the window was open or something natural like that. My cousin and I agree to go down side by side, step by step. We are scared but won't admit it. We reach up and turn the lights on. A single light turns on in the basement, not very illuminating. We step down the first step, and of course, like a fucking horror movie, the light goes the fuck out. I am ready to bolt at this moment, but my cousin urges me on. I remember him saying, we don't have to go all the way down, but we at least have to make it to step 7, out of 10. Step 2, nothing. Step 3. Begin to hear scraping noises, like a paint can getting drug across the floor. Step 4. Louder bangs and scrapes. Hear the chain on the light start to move, like something is spinning it. Step 5. A large paint can come crashing out from the darkness. Paint goes everywhere. Red paint, of course. Step 6. The forbidden step. The light bulb at this time is spun so hard it smashes into the ceiling. You can hear glass and shit all over the place. Heavy breathing, growl. Sounded like a large Rottweiler was walking around, clicks and scrapes. Okay. We are scared to death at this point. The girl upstairs is screaming at us to get back up there so we can go. I yell back, we aren't going until we touch step 7. We both, at the same time, reach down our feet to touch step 7, but it was as if something, like an air pocket or something, was preventing our feet from touching the step. I can't explain it, it was like there was an invisible barrier. I yell out to the darkness, we aren't leaving fucker until we touch this step. As the last word left my mouth, it was as if the barrier was pulled out from under our feet. We slammed into step 7 so hard, because we were pushing with all our might to touch it, that we both fell onto our backs and began to slide down the steps towards the basement darkness. Fuck this shit, I yell, as we scramble up the stairs. My cousin yells out in pain, saying he must have scraped a nail or something as his back hurt very badly. As we are about to make it to the top of the steps, I very distinctly hear my name called out in a low, gravely voice from the basement. My cousin says he heard his name as well, but I don't know. I think we both heard our own names called out. We get to the top of the stairs and close the door, but behind it we hear loud, heavy footsteps crashing up the steps, and a loud bang as something slams into the door from the other side. Cousin has 3 very distinct red scratches down his back, looks like a claw of a large animal. Scared to fucking death at this point. All white, girls crying, guys trying not to. We flip the fuck out, run out of house, leaving lights on. Later that week, the girl gets a call from her parents saying that the house has been getting worse and worse, they are going to move out. The girl thinks we set it off by trying to go into the basement that night. I shit you not, less than a week after that phone call, the house burnt down. Cause of fire? Broken gas line in the basement, looked as if it had been pulled from the wall. Parents investigated for burning down their own house but ultimately cleared. Scariest moment of my life was being on my back sliding towards the darkness of that basement. Never went back. Cousin broke up with girl a little after house burnt down, never looked back.
Be 11-year-old me staying at my best friend's place for sleepover. We live on the same street, so there's usually no reason to stay over, but do it anyway for fun. Parents gone, babysitter watching us. Friend has a room with 2 twin beds and a shared bathroom between his room and his brother's room on the opposite end of the bathroom. I think this is called a Jack and Jill setup or some other shit in architect circles. My friend's brother is not home. Just me, my friend, and the babysitter. Sleep in a twin bed, have a full view of the bathroom with a huge, wall-encompassing mirror. Pass the fuck out. Bolt the fuck awake. Not rub your eyes, take time to wake up awake. I mean dead asleep to fucking alert as shit in the span of a millisecond. Stare up at ceiling for a few minutes, wondering why the fuck I'm up. Feels like something is there with us. Look over, friend is fast asleep. Look into bathroom, weird fucking greenish gray light floating around. It didn't look like a candlelight. His side of the Jack and Jill bathroom door slowly shuts. Fuck. Stare at the ceiling for what feels like an hour. Start fading back to sleep. Hear the classic creak sound like it was out of a fucking horror movie. Look at the door, it's wide open. The light is back. Light goes over to the other side of the bathroom, disappears, then the other door slowly opens. Fuck this shit. Both doors shut at the same time. Nope. I run out of the house, without even waking my buddy or the babysitter, and go back to my house. I have some other stories pertaining to my house and my neighborhood track. It was built near Native American lands and has some classic Old West lore attached to it. Shit is fucked. I still can't take a shit in that bathroom to this day. Be 14-year-old me sleeping away. Wake up in the middle of the night to take a piss and get some midnight water. No one's awake. Lay down in bed, trying to go back to bed. I'm a restless sleeper, so it takes some time to go back to bed. Feel something sit down on the bed next to me. Turn around, expecting my little bro or someone else to be there. No one there, but there's a fucking depression on the bed as though someone had sat in it. Turn my nightstand light on. No one there. Shit's freaky. It's just your imagination, anon. Go back to bed. Fall asleep. bolt awake again. Similar to what happened at my buddy's house. There's a fucking floating mass of darkness just hanging over me. The best way I could describe it would be like light eating ink, just sucking all light around it and forming into some fucking weird mass. No eyes, but even darker pits, which looked like some sick perversion of eye sockets. I'm covered the fuck up in my warm ass down comforter, in the middle of July in Southern California, but I'm cold. Hear a low sigh, like something taking its last breath. The black mass rushes past me up through my ceiling and is gone. Paralyzed by fear, I finally worked up the courage to turn the night stand light on. Don't sleep for the next 2 days. I didn't tell this story to anyone in my immediate family for years because it was so fucking freaky and I didn't want to relieve it. I finally told this to my mom. She freaked the fuck out and told me that when the house was being built, we were the first owners, it was a new track, they had a lot of problems with vandalism. She came to inspect the built site one day and found a bunch of pentagrams and other ceremonial shit right where my room is. She had the pentagrams and other shit painted over when we moved it. She never told me because she didn't want to freak me out. I have other stories. My house is fucking crazy. I've come back for more nope storytelling. Sorry for the delay. Be 11-year-old me. Hanging out downstairs watching a movie or something. Have a black lab loyal and loving dog. Never bit anyone or anything. Not even little love bites or whatever. Movie is playing. Me and my family zoning out. Dog starts to freak the fuck out. Barking and snarling like crazy, looking up above our den. My parents' room was directly above the den area. All of us, WTF is his deal. Dog continues this for about 15 minutes, his hair is standing on edge and he is foaming at the mouth. Dog finally calms down and is just staring up at the ceiling, his eyes following something, but there is nothing on the ceiling. We decide to go check upstairs. Try to get the dog to come up. Dog resists with all his might. I try to pull his collar to get him to go up the stairs. The fucker bites me. He never bit me before and never bit me after that night. Dog starts crying, tail between legs, shaking, he's scared as shit. Go upstairs, nothing up there. Nope. That dog never ever slept in my parents' room again. He used to sleep there every night before then. After that night, he could not stay in my parents' room for more than a few minutes. After the dog incident, we began to routinely hear loud footsteps coming from my parents' room. Even when no one was home. This happens to this day and will happen throughout the day. Morning, day, night, it doesn't matter. We have heard it at all times in all environments, often more than one person will hear the same thing at the same time. I've had my wife, my friends, my family's friends, even contractors hear the footsteps. These are loud fucking footsteps too, like someone is stomping the shit out of the floor.
B10, give or take a couple years. Have experiences here, and they're growing up in the house. Nothing too major. Just enough to spook the horses. Taking a piss. Finish, open the door to leave. I realized I forgot to wash my hands. Return to the sink, wash hands, dry them off. Turn back towards the open door. Heart drops. I still don't know how to describe what I saw. Creature shorter than me, reminiscent of a malevolent ET. This was no hallucination. Staring right at it. Horrible. Fucking. Vibe. Creature shrieks and flails arms. I scream too. Creature bolts towards the living room. And I mean bolts, speed of light. I realized my sister and mom were there. Terrified but run after it. Get into living room. Mom and sister stare at me like WTF. Where did it go? they have no idea what I'm talking about. Run into adjacent rooms looking for any sign of it. Mom freaking out at this point. They didn't see it or hear it shrieking. And that is reason 1 of 39,834 why I use drugs.
I used to be a truck driver a few years ago. I drove all across the United States and Canada, and have seen some weird shit from time to time. Be middle of summer, hotter than hell. Driving through northeastern Texas, so it is really hot. Have been driving on back roads for the last 4 hours. Can only guess as to where I am just following the directions on the GPS. Eventually I came into a small town that had a small bar, a small grocery store, a gas station, and another store that sold hot sandwiches and stuff. Don't think I'll be able to make it to a truck stop, so I pull my truck into a small gravel lot right off the highway. Looks like it used to be a gas station 20 or so years ago. Filling out paperwork and tapping things into the truck's computer. Have the window down while I'm smoking a cigarette. Start noticing that there are a lot of cats running around. Get out of the truck and stretch my legs. Cats running around everywhere. Walk over to a place that sold sandwiches. Bought some spicy chicken Sammy and a couple drinks. One kinda cute white girl working the counter. About 6 individuals are wandering around the store and hitting on the girl. They are staring me the fuck down as I'm buying my stuff. Start to realize that this is a predominantly poor area. Shit.jpg. Go back over to truck and sit in driver's seat while eating sandwich and listening to the radio. They exit the store, mean muggin' me as they do so. Sun is starting to set, and I have heard reports of severe thunderstorms on the local radio. Go into sleeper. But first slide the driver's seat all the way forward and raise the air up so it's pressing against the steering wheel. Figure this would give me some time if someone were to bust open my window and try to get in. Lock up doors. Strip down naked. Did I mention it was hot? Open vents and lay down on my bed. Dicked around on the laptop for a little while. No internet connection, so I couldn't do much more than play a couple video games. Put the laptop in its cupboard and prepare to sleep. Must have been asleep for an hour or two. Wake to complete darkness. Laying there for a moment wondering what had woken me up. Hear banging coming from the side of my truck, right next to my head. Was a loud bang, followed by 2 smaller ones. Wait a minute. Bangs happen again, at the same strength and frequency. Try and peek through vents. Can't see shit. Put some underwear on, and open the curtain so I could look out the windshield. Completely fucking dark outside. Can't see a damn thing, other than a light from the food store and a couple of porch lights in a woods. Windshield has a few rain droplets on it. Hear banging noise again. This time closer to the hood, still on the driver's side. Flip on headlights and hit windshield wipers to clear the rain. Kind of stand up so I could see if someone was messing with my truck. Can't see anyone. Sit on bed with curtains open, looking out the windshield trying to spot someone. Suddenly I heard a loud bang above my head. Sounded like someone just jumped onto my cab's roof. Banging continues. Sounds like it's jumped over to my trailer and is now walking down the length of it. Start noping. Think the guys from before are climbing all over my truck. Roll down the passenger window a bit and yell outside. Quit fucking around with my truck. Banging stops for a moment, then picks up in volume. Sounds like someone is running across the top of my trailer back towards the cab. Hear a very solid bang on the roof of the cab and see a blur of something almost rolling down my hood. The moment it would have passed in front of my headlights, they cut out. Automatic feature on truck to prevent battery dying. too freaked out to lean forward to hit the headlight switch. Silently shitting myself. Hear small patterings all over my cab. Start thinking there's more than one. Realize it's the rain falling much harder now. Suddenly there is a bright flash of lighting, lights up everything, including what's standing in front of my truck. Looks like a large man wearing no clothes, with his arms outstretched to his sides and his head facing upwards. Nope. Get courage to hit the headlight switch again. There's nothing in front of my truck. Rain is falling much heavier now. Having trouble seeing more than a couple feet in front of the truck, even with the headlights on. Flash of lightning illuminates the surroundings again. Looks to be around 10 people standing 20 feet away from my truck in a half circle. Don't want to hit the high beam switch because I'd have to climb over the seat and put my head close to the window. Freaking the fuck out. Waiting for another flash of lightning. Multiple flash reveals everything around my truck. Can see people all around my truck. Some were walking towards me, some walking away, some just standing. None of them were in groups. They just seemed to be doing their own thing. Start thinking of calling the police. Lightning flashes again. There's no one outside, but there are about 10 small cats wandering around. Sit out the rest of the storm. Don't see any more people, but cats are still wandering all over the place. Chain smoke until dawn. Make delivery and sleep for 12 hours at a truck stop in Katy. Still don't know what happened to this day.
Got a creepy story. Not really Wendigo nope tier, but pretty spooky. I'm hoping someone can shed some light on what happened. Never done one of these posts before, so sorry if it's shit tear. B16. Go to Germany, Munich to be precise, on a school trip to study the World War II group that YouTube doesn't like being mentioned. We arrive and go to the center of Munich where our hostel is. Dingy type place, but they did nice food. Me and 5 other friends are sharing a dorm, 3 bunk beds all on the edge of the room with a table and chairs in the middle. The first night there, we head to a Hard Rock cafe and stroll around Munich, 40 of us, soaking up the new culture. We get back to our dorm room at about 8 p.m. and we make our beds and properly make ourselves at home. A friend, let's call him Tom, pulls bedsheets to reveal huge maroon stains on his bedsheets. We all do the same, again massive odd stains on our bedsheets, smells like metal. We just think, lazy fucking cleaners, and make the beds. Go downstairs for supper, tell other people what happened. We're not alone in our mysterious happenings. A dorm of 3 found some sharp arrowhead in their room. We all get the impression this place is kinda fucked up. Head back into dorm rooms for the night, everyone showers and goes to bed. Tom, being a creep, starts making fucking weird noises and sneaking up on my other friend Sam in the night to make him scared. This goes on until 11 p.m. Was filming the reactions on my phone. After about an hour, nobody can sleep, so we all agree to open the windows and let some air in. Things start to go weird. We all slowly fall asleep. However, every time I close my eyes I get these weird fucking hallucination type things. Like when you press your thumbs gently against your eye. Except I wasn't pressing my eyes, and I had taken my contacts out and I couldn't feel anything on my eyes. Because Tom is a clumsy fuck, instead of unpacking his clothes and stuff from his bag like the rest of us, he just has all of his shit all over the dorm floor. This meant that if anyone got up in the middle of the night, I'd be woken by the sound of someone kicking deodorant cans across the floor. I finally get to sleep whilst being woken up by another friend, Lewis, who for some reason went for a piss like 5 times that night. Wake up next day. It's Lewis' birthday, so we all say happy birthday and all that stuff. Go downstairs with dorm and have breakfast. Lewis was super organized. Because of him, we were always first to breakfast and got all the good shit. This is important later. Talk about Lewis going for a piss in the middle of the night so many times. Other friend, Sam, then starts jokingly accusing Tom of being a pervert because he was feeling his legs in the middle of the night. Tom seriously denies the accusation. You know it's serious when Tom is serious, Guy is such a character. We then blame Will, whose bed is end to end with Sam's, and accuse him of reaching over with his legs. Will again, completely denies it. If it was them, they would have admitted it. We all kinda get a hint of nope, but then Sam notices something. If Tom, Will did do it, we would have heard it and we'd been woken up by the sound of clanging metal and crunching crisp packets. Nope intensifies. We just brush it off and say that Sam was dreaming it. Day is pretty cool. Go to Dachau camp and mass graves, tour around Munich, witness a communist protest, etc. A full day gone by and my dorm are all knackered. We all agree to stay up late at night and just talk about random shit. Get to dorm room, weirdly enough, all of Tom's shit is neat and tidied up on a table next to his bunk bed. Considering last night's events, we all nope that something came in and did the work for us. People then start saying Lewis was fed up and did it when we were still downstairs in the arcade, organized guy, like I said. What's more, those stains had gone from our bedsheets. Just realize it was probably cleaners that came and did it. Whatever. Fast forward 5 hours to about 3 a.m. Everyone but friend, Jack is awake. Jack literally fell asleep in the middle of a conversation, the rude cunt. We all then notice that the light, which was turned off, was ominously glowing a faint green. We're all in a happy mood so we just dismiss it as radioactive waste or some shit. Then realize past events in dorm and everybody gets nervous. All eventually fall asleep around 4 a.m., forget most of what happened. Day 3. Lewis wakes us all up at 6 a.m. 2 hours of sleep, yay. Lewis apologizes to us all and says, "Lights have been broken. Did someone notice it was broken when they went to the toilet?" Mope.webm. Our funny as fuck friend Tom is now in an active state of nope right now. Wake up, get breakfast, learn that night that an entire dorm room had fallen ill and were actively vomiting their guts up last night. Creeps.jpg. See friend Tommy, he came from that dorm, was literally sheet white, it was scary. 2-hour coach journey to Nuremberg to see famous World War II rally grounds. Absolutely pumped it. Have amazing day, see rally grounds as well as go see the courtroom where the Nuremberg trials were held. On way back, Jack fell asleep in the coach, so we decided to tickle him. Jack's an army cadet and scout so he could literally sleep through an air raid. He jostles around mumbling things and at one point lets out a deep, monotone, stop, all of a sudden. Everyone close to Jack on the coach hears this and are spooked, even the teachers are creeped. We stop, get to petrol station, most people disembark to go to toilets. Jack wakes up and says he had a terrifying dream. Too spooky for me. Show him video of him jostling around like a spastic. Anyways, we get back to the hotel only to notice that our dorm room was completely wrecked the fucked up. The place looked like it had been in an earthquake. Literally the beds were all out of place and all our clothes were out of the wardrobes. The D&D game we were playing on the table was now all over the floor and the papers in tatters. Bed sheets are covered in that mysterious maroon liquid again, the room stinks of metal. Everyone decides, fuck this, and moves what clean bed sheets we found, and our clothes to our friend's dorm. The one that found that weird arrowhead. We stay up until around 11 with 3 different dorm groups crammed into one room talking about porn and shit, fun times. We all sleep on the floor whilst the other 3 sleep on their beds, ungrateful sods. We all have a good sleep until we are woken up twice in the night. First was when we heard a crazy loud banging from upstairs. Happens like thud, 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 thud. Me and some other friends get up and something possessed us, not literally, to go see what it was. We go upstairs to find an old man with cataracts in his eyes shouting at us in German. Apologize in what little German I know and go back downstairs. Get to sleep. Later on that night, me and some others were woken up by the most demonic screaming from outside on the streets. When I heard it, my blood ran dead cold. Others are noping too. Look outside. Nothing but a tram passing by. Pretty fucking scared. Shiver myself to sleep. I know, I'm a complete pussy. Day 4, everyone wakes up and goes to pack their bags. Get into the haunted dorm room. Everything is cleaned again. Really fucking spooked. What's more, is my bag is all packed up with everything inside. Go through bag just in case. Yep, every single thing is in there. Unpack last set of clean clothes, get a shower and get changed and head off. Bid farewell to the god-forsaken place. Either I met a very dedicated cleaner or someone or something was fucking with us.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.